This is Charter Local Edition. I'm Brad Pomerance. We are at the California Republican Party Convention in the Bay Area. We are joined by none other than Acquanetta Warren. You know her well. She is the mayor of the beautiful city of Fontana in the Inland Empire, one of our favorites indeed. And I want to speak with you about your involvement here in the convention. We've known you for a long time, active in the Republican Party, but some may wonder, how does an African-American woman who grew up in Compton wind up being such an activist in the Republican Party?
Well, you know, I also grew up in South Central Los Angeles.
Right.
And it makes sense to me because you can't have all your eggs in one basket.
Fair.
And we need competition, but the bigger thing for me is I believe in what Ronald Reagan said when he said we're all in this together. And I really do believe that if we all sit down and put our heads together, we can work it out for our entire country.
And I think a lot of us believe that, Democrats and Republicans. The challenge becomes some of the rhetoric we've heard during this presidential election has been, one could say, not inclusionary, but exclusionary against Latinos, arguably, against Muslims, arguably.
Right.
And so how do you, as a party leader, bring back that sense of inclusion when some are speaking exclusionary words?
You know, we have to stay focused on the real prize as a party. And no one is condoning exclusion.
Right.
We only should be condoning inclusion.
Right.
But if you really listen to the rhetoric, what it says is we need to get America back where it was. And people don't understand that somebody's voting for these people. There's a loud message here. I mean, let's not act like this isn't happening. There's a loud message.
And what is that message?
The message is everybody wants America back the way it was.
Meaning what?
Meaning jobs, meaning good education, the American dream of carrying a home and having a future. When we have young people that are still staying at home at the age of 40 because they can't afford a home, something's wrong. And that's why you see people having a fit about why can't America be for everyone. And those candidates that have a plan to make America back strong, those are the candidates that are going to do well in this election.
So I understand you yourself have not endorsed a candidate for president at this stage. Will you be supporting the Republican nominee, whoever that may be?
Absolutely. The reason why people don't understand is we have to stand for something. And I believe not being part of the room and the discussion is what creates the exclusion. I've had the honor of being in the room and saying, I don't think so. You don't say that about people. You don't exclude people.
So I want to talk more about African Americans because historically the Republican Party has struggled with African American voters. I mean, arguably and not surprisingly, during the Obama years, African Americans many felt a sense of pride, and he got more than 90% of the votes.
I'll tell you, I went to both inaugurations, and I am not faking it one bit. I enjoyed it.
A sense of pride.
A sense of pride, absolutely.
And I presume you did, if it's okay, you did not vote for him, you supported him?
I don't discuss how
I vote. It's all good. It's all good. No. But I think it's
no.
Yeah.
I was very proud. I was so happy. My father had passed in 2006. But my mom, seeing her face that night, it made a big difference for me.
And in a lot of ways, that does say a lot because, look, you've been a Republican activist for as long as I've known you, but that doesn't mean there isn't a sense of pride that someone that happened to have been from the other party broke ground.
Right. I think my pride was for our country.
Yeah.
How long? I mean, look at me.
Did you ever think?
No, I never think. Look at me. I mean, I'm the first African-American mayor of Fontana and the first female.
And think about the fact that this is the Inland Empire.
Hello.
I know, the Inland Empire is changing, but still.
But more and more, I think you're seeing the lines drawn at the state and the federal level. And locally, we can't afford to do that.
And you know, it's interesting. I recently interviewed an African-American Democratic Assembly member, Chris Holden.
Right.
He represents an area that, let's just call it, pretty darn white.
Oh, yeah.
And then I just interviewed Rocky Chavez, a Republican member of the Assembly. He represents an area pretty darn white.
Right.
And he's Latino. So maybe we are getting to that place.
Well, no, people want people that say what they say and mean what they say and get the job done. And at the end of the day, it's not always about party.
Right.
And that's where people
Or
are really
ethnicity.
getting, or ethnicity, that's right. And I think we're all getting stuck on those things, and we need to leave it alone. We need to vote for more qualified, and we need to vote for those that are willing to fight for Americans.
But I do want to talk, though, about the Republican brand, though, amongst African Americans, because the brand is taking a hit.
Oh yeah,
The brand is taking a hit.
big time.
So recently, Pew did a survey and asked voters of all ethnicities and ages their views of the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. African Americans gave the Democratic Party a favorability rating of 79, an unfavorable rating of 17. Republicans got a 15% favorable rating and a 79% unfavorable rating. That's amongst African Americans.
Absolutely, and I'm not shocked about that because I grew up in South Central
Right.
with that. But look at African American unemployment rate, look at African American educational level, and look at African Americans' ability to buy homes. It is at 0 to 5%.
And this is the party of Lincoln.
Yes.
The party that emancipated
Right.
the slaves.
But the message has to be, until we all derive that we all have to work once and for all as Americans, we're all going to keep seeing those numbers. But we also need to educate people on, if people have your vote, they don't have to do anything to help you. And that's what we've seen. Let me tell you the
Please,
story
go,
I
go.
told on the plane.
Go.
When when I was growing up, my dad worked swing ship at Rockadine. And my mom made him a cake just about every Friday. And I never understood. I said, Mommy, why do I have to take 2 cartons of eggs and put one in one bag and one in the other bag? And she said, you know why? Because you're clumsy. You're human. She said, tell the box boy to put 1 carton of eggs in one bag, put the other carton in the other bag, and then you are guaranteed that if you drop one of those bags to get those eggs home. And that's what's happened in the African American community and Latino area and other people. We have put all our eggs in one bag, and that bag, the Democratic bag, and that bag then dropped so many times.
And we've seen surveys which indicate that Donald Trump does not terribly amongst African Americans. I mean,
You should hear the brothers out there on the street, honey. They are for him 100%.
If he pulls 20-25% of the African American vote,
Right.
Hillary Clinton could have a tough time.
Well, you know why?
winning
Because
some
he's
states.
talking jobs. He's not saying you got to do this and that and that. And see, that's the difference between state, federal, and local government. We don't get a chance to hide behind resolutions and flying in on Friday morning to our constituents. I can't go in the market in peace if I don't fix the potholes,
It's
okay?
true. I mean, when you're a mayor of a town-
yeah, I'm telling you, we don't get that ability, and people don't give a hoot what party we're in, because all they want to know is you're going to fix the potholes, make sure the police are working like they should, and make sure our children get their education.
I must ask, how proud are you of Fontana, which
Oh.
has really become a crown jewel in the Inland Empire?
You know what? I can't even put my arm around it,
Right.
because Fontana is that glowing light that shows you if everybody works together, well, look what we can do.
No, but honestly, people are rushing to move to
Oh,
Fontana.
yes.
I mean, a small little anecdote. You got a great soccer field. My daughter's played
Yeah.
there. I mean, little things in
That's
life.
what I'm talking
No,
about.
but it's true. It's a little thing
Right.
in life. I mean,
But the number one thing that people don't realize that people want is safety.
right.
And I'm telling you, everybody don't hate the police.
Yeah.
They recognize that without proper safety, we have nothing. And we've worked hard to not only have great police officers, we have great housing. You know, if you look to the east, San Bernardino, it hurts my heart. 25 murders.
Her name
25.
is Acquanetta Warren. She is the mayor of beautiful Fontana. My name is Brad Pomerance. California Republican Party Convention. This is Charter Local Edition.